What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Keegan and Company podcast, where it is all around the company we keep. This podcast is powered by Famous Nutrition. Shop online at famousnutrition.com and use try30 for 30% off to feel famously good today. Enjoy the episode. Annabelle, how you feeling? Welcome to the podcast.
Glad to be here.
I'm so excited we're doing this. We've had like the most beautiful morning. You don't have any goggle marks from our triathlon sprint we've done. How you feeling?
You do, just cheeky try before going to the podcast.
Yeah, it's good. Because we've been talking about doing this for a little while now, and because typically like we love to do something with the guests beforehand, whether it's like a trail run, a coffee, swim, surf. And I saw
you chose triathlon.
Well,
not a coffee.
I chose triathlon because I saw you like training for a trial. Like your content on your socials about you doing your tri a little while ago. I was just like, if there's anyone that I can do it with, it's gonna be Annabelle.
Throw me the deep end.
Because not many people would be up for doing like a little triathlon sprint.
Yeah.
Before doing a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was fun to survive.
Yeah.
And you fall off. That was the main thing.
You were good because we did a sprint. So we did pretty much like 700 meter swim in Crumman Creek. Beautiful. We boosted out into the valley, 20 kilometers into the valley, and then came back a little 5 kilometer run to finish.
It's beautiful day for it as well.
I feel like we've already done a podcast before.
Yeah. On the ride, on the bike, and just talking shit the whole time.
Even Declan, who was shooting for us this morning, he's like, man, you guys were just talking and giggling the whole time.
I mean, we're probably taking the bike a little easy.
But
just talking all the time.
Even that time when we were out in the valley, I was like, oh, I'll just draft. I'll draft behind here. You're like, what do you mean? You're not going to get anything from me.
I'm not going to block anything.
Yeah, but you've had a busy couple of days. Like, I'm grateful that you're still keen to come on, but you've been in Colorado this week. You've only been back in Australia for a couple of days, probably still jet lag. How's the last couple of days been?
It's been, crazy. Like the last week in general, like I left for America on the Wednesday, got back on the Sunday. So it was like same amount of time in the air that I was on the ground, which is crazy, but awesome experiences. And because
what were you doing over there? You were with Apple for a little bit?
With Apple, yeah.
Pretty cool, hey?
Sick. Like when Apple asks if you want to go to America, you say yes.
Is that interesting? Or like, does it still kind of mind blowing now that like, you've obviously like been in this game for a couple of years now to have a brand like Apple reach out to you? Is that still kind of cool, or is it kind of like the new mirror?
I feel like brands like that is kind of like a holy shit, like what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because I guess like the further in you go, the bigger scale brands that start to reach out. And so when those sort of brands that like you never even thought would want to work with you reach out, it's kind of like a huge pinch to your moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what did you do for the couple of days?
So we landed, we had a welcome dinner, and then essentially we just had a jam-packed day testing all the new products, like the features of the new AirPods, the Apple Watch, the iPhone 17. We did a hike, we did a yoga, we did a trail run. We did so many stuff. It was just cool meeting a lot of people because there's only 2 of us Aussies, and then everyone else was like UK or US and that sort of thing. And it was cool like meeting people that I've seen online and then in person, and everyone's like always so good in person, but it was cool.
Is that the thing? Like, it's kind of the thing with social media. Like, you might know of someone, but then like actually getting to spend time with them, right?
Yeah. It's cool.
It's
cool how like social media can connect us when you feel like you know someone, but you don't actually know them.
Really? Do you reckon? Because obviously, like, you show up super authentically, right? Like the way you see, like the way we see you on social media is like very much how you are in person. I wonder if was that the same feeling when you went over with those crew, where it's just like, oh, you kind of like get to know someone. But then I imagine sometimes it might not be the case because it can be such a highlight reel, yeah?
Yeah. I feel like some people with social media as well, like you don't really get to know their personality as well. So you don't really know what to expect. And I mean, everyone was super lovely, but it's cool to be able to connect in person.
Yeah, I think there's so many little great themes that I'm keen to touch on today. I think like even like the ability for you to be so, I guess, like well versed across different sports. Like your high rocks, you got your running. Like I can call you like before and it's like, you up for doing a try? Like just before you, 100%. Like you can swim, you can do all of those things. And so I am keen to flesh that out. But what do you think were the main experiences or the key experiences that you had growing up that I guess led you to who you are today and wanting to say yes and be just so open to doing those things?
I think like I've been like this my whole life. I love sport And so when I was younger, even in school, like I, would try basketball, I would try touch athletics. Like in athletics, my events were, triple jump, javelin, hurdles. Like I was always, I'd place like third in everything. Like I was never the best at one thing. I kind of just do a lot of things. And then, yeah, even like going into uni, like, tried rowing, tried badminton, I just like the community aspect of sport and doing a lot of different things because it's so interesting. I think I get really curious to see like, oh, I wonder if I can do that.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just like led into adult life, like trying so many things.
Yeah.
Just saying yes to everything.
It's so good. Do you think saying yes has helped you not only in like the physical pursuits, but also like business and life as well?
Oh, for sure. Like the opportunities that even just like the running aspect has given me. Like I always think, imagine if I didn't say yes to running a marathon with my mum, then I wouldn't have the base that I do now for running, and then I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have with running. Like I wouldn't have gone to America with Apple because, that was a running experience. And without that, it wouldn't have, led me to all this stuff.
It's so interesting, like those full sliding door moments, hey? Because I think we can constantly like think like, oh, that thing's not for me, like, or that was so out of scope. I couldn't imagine doing something like that. Whereas just you say yes and figure it out later. Yeah. I remember when we very first started the podcast like 2 years ago, we were just starting, and we had a conversation with Woo about like just coming on board as a partner for the podcast.
Yeah,
and they're like, they were just about to relaunch in Australia. They had this beautiful house in Darling Point in Sydney, and had all these people come through it. It was like visually it was beautiful, and they're like, "Oh, would you be up for like emceeing the event?" Had never emceed an event before in my whole life. Like I had that heap of Q&As with footy and stuff like that, but I had never like owned the event. And they're like, and I was like, yes, yep. Yeah, just said yes, and I was shitting myself. I was like, I sort of like just put on like this bit of like a mask, or like
act confident,
and just fully acted. And it was cool because I pulled in a heap of athletes to the event, so I knew a lot of people in the crowd. So I would like very jovial, like talking a bit of shit, calling crew out, and then so it was a fun event. And then after that, I was just like, from there, have emceed a heap of events off the back of that. And I was like, well, I didn't say yes to that thing. Yeah, all these other things wouldn't come out.
Yeah, it's so just like one thing can kind of be the catalyst for so many other things without you even knowing.
Yeah. You said you did a lot of sport growing up, and you're always trialing different things. Was there a shift when you wanted to go into more the longer stuff? Because I've heard previously that you were very like power sprinting, very fast. When was the shift to be able to go to more long distance stuff? And was there any hesitation with that?
There was a lot of hesitation. Like I know we touched on in the run, me saying that like my parents and my brother, they're all into the long distance stuff, the tries and stuff. And growing up, mum would ask if I want to do a park run on a Saturday. I'd be like, absolutely not. Fucking no. Couldn't think of anything worse. And like in school, I did do a couple sprint tries to kind of like dabble in it, but like I didn't really enjoy it that much, so I never really stuck to it. And then I think when, I got out of uni and stuff, there wasn't really much to do in like the sporting realm. Yeah. And so I started, training with a few friends in the like group fitness scenario. And then people, like, oh, you want to go for a run on the weekend? They're like, oh, yeah, okay. And then the run clubs started coming. And again, like that sense of community is what I really like. Like I don't like, going in for a solo gym session and just being mute the whole time. Like that's not very fun to me. And then, I started running with friends, and then obviously it became a little bit easier. And then, a group of friends was signing up to a half marathon, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do this, and then work towards that. And then, again, it's just people asking me if I want to do things, and then me saying yes, and then I realized like, oh, I have to actually train for that thing. And then
Is there any downsides with saying yes to everything?
Like no weekends. I guess I'll see how I go these next 2 months, but I guess there could be potential burnout. But I think because I've gone through the period of overtraining and under eating, I know what that feels like. So I'm very conscious of not letting myself get back to that.
Gotcha.
Hence why like I've brought a nutritionist on to like tell me, how or X amount of carbs to eat and to fuel the amount of training. So I don't, drop weight, and then
Yeah.
the performance is compromised.
I do want to talk about fueling and relationship with food, but before you do, you mentioned burnout, and it's interesting because when I see individuals like yourself who doing lots of things, who are traveling a lot, even in the gym, you were talking about how you had recently done some sort of half Ironman, not a half marathon somewhere. And you're like, I've got this next, high rocks that, and I was sitting there just like, how are you doing this? Like, when you think, oh, I've got a lot of, it's like, I'm not, I don't have much on at all. I'm chilling. I'm cruising.
Yeah.
But that relationship with burnout, have you experienced anything like that, or that level of fatigue? Like, because I think you're doing a lot, and that ability to stay in love with something. I think about that a lot for people who are into things.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? Have you experienced that at all?
I think the one I'm thinking of is last year when I was in the back end of that marathon training, and I was also kind of going through, my issues with gut and stress and low iron and that sort of thing. So at the end of marathon training, when, I went all in and I was willing to sacrifice my other things, so like your strength and whatnot, because it was my first marathon and I had a coach and I was like, I'm just going to listen to you. I'm just going to do exactly what you say. I'm willing to, just go all in. And so in the last 8 weeks or so, because I was just so focused on marathon training, I just started hating it.
Really?
Because I like being able to do everything. I like, the group element. And because running is such an individual sport, I was doing all my runs solo. I was just doing my running specific strength in the gym. I was training by myself all day, every week. And I did not have fun. I was like, I cannot wait for this to be over. And then I think with, the long runs, like it's so much on the body, and I didn't have someone telling me how to fuel properly and that sort of thing. And then because I wasn't doing the things that I loved, my self-confidence, like body image, kind of took a dive as well. And I was so glad to get that marathon done.
Yeah. But then tell me about, once the marathon was done, tell me your feelings about it, because you're here now, you're talking about doing a half Ironman so I said that, so half marathon and marathon. So your relationship with running is still there. Your relationship with doing these events is still there. Tell me how you navigated that time for not wanting to do, or not like finding it hard to do that. Doing it, how did you find that going out of it?
I think like the back end of last year, like I did end up doing a city marathon afterwards, but that was just kind of an opportunity thrown at me. And I think I only really got back into the love of running sort of like March this year. I had a massive break. I just didn't want to run, because I think I forced myself to run during the marathon training because I had to, not because I wanted to. So I think it is really important, if you do have that burnout, or you're finding yourself just forcing yourself to do it, it's good to have a break, because so you can find that love for it again.
Were you training other things in that break?
I was just doing what I love in the gym, like training with people in group scenarios and just enjoying training again.
That's so interesting. I love that feeling of being like, okay, so it seems like you had the awareness to be able to identify that, hey, look, I probably need to have a bit of a break here and get back to my roots. Like get back to my bread and butter, and then come March, you're back into it.
Yeah.
Very cool. I want to talk about food and fuel. There was an Instagram post that you put up, and you said, food truly is your friend, not the enemy. Once you start training fuel, you'll never look back. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I used to be like a 5 a.m. trainer, like every day. I would wake up, just out of bed, go straight to the gym. And like whilst that was really fun, because I had a good group of friends training in that time, it's once now when I train like midday or later in the morning, or just have something in my stomach. I think when I started becoming a coach, I couldn't train at 5 a.m. anymore, because I was obviously coaching. So I had to work into the midday routine, and obviously you have something in your stomach and you're just like, whoa, I feel so much stronger. I've got so much more to give. Even like this morning, like having gels throughout it. I think like fasted cardio is like such a thing. And I think, maybe if you're, like a bodybuilder or have those certain goals, but if you got performance-based goals, like you're doing yourself a disservice not having those energy stores to be able to push harder.
I think it's probably such a such a topical conversation, especially for young girls coming through. Like I was talking to my partner about this, and we were talking really openly. Like when she was younger, she's like, my whole thing was just like, you just wanted to be thin, and it was so unhealthy. And so now, obviously, a bit more educated around like the fueling process, and she's just like, well, I want to be able to perform, and so she's kind of put the thing on performance over aesthetics. How has your relationship been with food from when you were younger compared to now?
Yeah, it's definitely gone through waves. I think similar to like when I was, like 13 to 18, 20, all on social media was just, about looks and being small. Like it was like marathons weren't a thing, like girls looking muscly and doing all these crazy things. They weren't as prevalent as they are now. So I think you're influenced by what you do see online, which was at the time like being small and whatever. So you just naturally want to eat less, and not a lot of, I guess, not as informed information as we do now, which is, it's really cool to be in that space now and be able to, I don't know, like be a role model, I guess, for girls who are shifting their mindset from aesthetics to performance and kind of being like, oh, hey, like one, they can go hand in hand, but two, like there's so much more to looking a certain way. Like it feels so much better to be able to, do cool shit.
Is it harder for you because you're in social media and it's your actual job, or is it easier because you want to be the role model for those young girls?
I think it's easy now because I genuinely do like what I'm doing. And so it's really easy to then just share that. And I think it's because I'm also in a good place mentally to be able to, share that.
I think, tell me about, because obviously it's a mental health and sport podcast, and I think we all go through like challenging times, right? I think like that's life. Has there been times where you didn't think you were able to get through something, but then you still did and found the tools later on? Was there a time?
In terms of events?
Anything, events, life, food, like the whole the whole thing, right?
I think like when I did my first marathon, my first half marathon, I hit the biggest wall at 16K. Like I was so underprepared for that. I think the longest run I'd done was 16K. So that's exactly where I died. Like legs just started cramping. I was like, oh no. Had to like on and off walk for the last 5K or so. But I think when you're in those sort of situations, you're like, I've already done 16K. What's another 5K? Like even if you walk, you can, just slowly move. Eventually you're going to get there. And I think like when you're in those hard times, I always just remind myself like, are you dying? No, you're good. Like you can keep going.
Yeah. We were talking about this morning on the run after our bike and after our swim. Where we were, our heart rate was definitely, mine was definitely high.
I got out of the swim. I was like, oh my days, what's going on?
I don't know. We were on the run and it was beautiful. But there was one thing that really stuck out to me because we were talking about social media and how we're seeing so many people doing so many incredible things, and people are jumping from like the start of the year doing their first 5K to just jumping straight into a marathon. And what I'd really love to hear from you is like your journey with that, because you were saying, 6 years ago was when I started doing my first like the 5Ks. I couldn't run 5K 5 years ago. Now I'm running my marathon. How do you look at that in terms of the actual journey and not being so, I'm guessing like, how do you avoid just jumping into this thing?
I think because we were talking like it's so, I guess, normalized to be able to run a marathon now, and it's like it's fucking hard. It's awful. And so people who start running, like they see people running a marathon and be like, oh, okay, I want to do that, and expect to get there in like 12 months, which again, like that is so unrealistic. Again, like 6 years ago is when I ran my, first 5K, and then like 10K 4 years ago, and then half marathon, and then marathon last year. Like it's 6 years to be able to get to the level I am now. Even like when we did the 5K, like I couldn't imagine running 5-minute pace at the end of that, like a couple of years ago, which is
crazy,
wild. And I think it's also like people, like if you say you want to do something, but say you can only run 5K, and it just seems so unfathomable. You're like, oh, I can never do that. Like I'm just not got the tools or whatever. But it's easy to look at the bigger picture, but you just got to think of like, oh, I just got to do, say you can run 5K. Oh, I just aim to get like 10K or whatever. I think we were talking about that with the half Ironman as well. You're like, no, you can, you say that now, but like you progress little by little, and after a while, it won't be as daunting.
It was like when I was telling you we did the UTA, the ultra marathon in the Blue Mountains, and we were doing the 50, and at 40, 45, I was thinking, there's no way I could do 100K. Like 100K, it just seems so
You did the
crazy.
whole thing again.
The whole thing. You do that, what you just did, plus again. But then I was talking to some of the crew that did the 100, so like Montana Farris Seaton, Benny Seymour, and Rory Warnock. Like those crew were all staying in a similar spot, and they're like, yeah, but it's all relative. Like you've got in your brain that you're gonna do that amount, so you've done all the training. It's just about showing up. Like even my Ironman coach, this guy called Craig Alexander, he's like won Hawaii a couple times, like he's a world champion. Like he's the dude. He's the dude. And he's like, mate, people get so stuck in these things of like, doing all these little 1%ers, which are great. Like, don't get me wrong, the 1%ers are great about like, doing the ice baths and doing the saunas. And he's like, just get your fundamentals down.
Sleep, eat, stretch.
Do your but then show up consistently. Like, miss it. Like, even he said, if you can't do an intervals bike session, just sit on the bike, zone 2. It's literally all about showing up, and then your progression curve will just be enormous, right? And I'd probably say like similar for you, like, you getting into, doing these tries and these, maybe a half Ironman coming up. But I imagine... Am I manifesting this for you or what? I think I just want to know the training partner.
Oh my God.
But I imagine, would that be like, do you subscribe to that at all, about like showing up and being consistent with your training?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think especially like, it helped me a lot when I shifted from aesthetics to performance. Like aesthetics, you're taking photos like weekly, you're weighing yourself, and it's because you're not getting that like instant gratification. You're like, oh, well, nothing's happening, I'm going to fall off the wagon. Whereas if you do, your performance-based goals, you go into the gym, you hit a certain weight, and then the next week you're like, oh, I can lift a little bit heavier. And you're like getting this like little things, and you're like, oh, like it's kind of like keeps you on the hook. And so you be consistent for a lot longer.
What was the shift? Well, when was the shift from aesthetics to performance? Was there a thing? Did something happen? Was there...
Yeah.
What was it?
I think like growing up, I was always performance-based, and then social media caused me to shift towards aesthetics. And that's when I just, had a bad relationship with food, didn't actually really enjoy training and whatnot. And so I think I had to kind of just ignore what people were doing online. Like so many people, like kudos to them, like that's the way they train, want to grow their glutes or whatever. And then I got sucked into wanting to train like that. I'm like, oh, I need to grow my glutes. Then I would go into the gym and just literally hate it. And then I think I had to remember, like, do something you enjoy. You don't like training like that, so why are you doing that? That's why you're not consistent. That's why you're not happy in the gym. And then that's when I went back to, like the group training and the sense of community and pushing myself hard. And that's when I, fell in love with it, and I stopped taking progress photos or whatever, because I just was focused on the actual training itself.
Do you think you'll have more longevity in what you're doing now because you actually enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so, because we obviously have like conversations like this because it's a fucking podcast, but we have a conversation with people who have been in their niche or their sport for years, like 10, 15, 20 plus years. And so you start thinking, and a big comment, like I was telling you about Dom D. Tommaso, the parkour athlete, who is like, he started social media he said, it's going to be my job from 2014. Now he's got like 3.5 million followers on socials, like an incredible YouTube presence. And I was like, man, because we were talking at the Red Bull Summit, and I was like, how do you stay in love with something? Because you see so many athletes like bounce out of, professional sport or even social media or even doing whatever they think because they just get burnt out, they get over it, they fall out of love with it. I was like, how do you do it? He's like, I just do what I like to do. He's like, I do things that excite me. I do things that, exciting to me. I'm not looking at other people I get inspiration for other people, but I'm not looking for them to try and copy them. Everything that I'm doing, I do because I want to do. So when
Yeah.
he pitches these like really gnarly, incredible stunts to Red Bull, Red Bull are awesome because they're just like, oh, well, how do we make this happen?
Yeah.
And it's all on him.
Yeah.
And I love that. And so when I start thinking about, okay, well, what are the type of conversations that I want to have and who do I want to talk to and who can I learn from? It's like that'll keep it fun as well, right?
I was saying this in the run, like, if you say, oh, I want to do a marathon, like, think about why you actually want to do it. Like, if you just want to do it to get the gratification from other people that you've just run a marathon, then you're going to hate the training. Like, you're just going to be like, why the fuck am I doing this? But if you genuinely want to prove yourself that you can run a marathon and do it for you, then you're just going to do so much better.
Yeah. I think being in that, but it's also so hard because, as we said before, we're seeing other people doing these incredible things, and it's almost like what next? We did a podcast with a research psychologist, Megan Lee, and her whole thing is around nutrition and mental health. Really incredible. She's a lecturer. She's one of my lecturers at uni. She's awesome. She's like her PhD was on mental health and nutrition, like way back when, like was OG. And she was talking about how, excuse me, we're constantly on this thing called like the hedonic treadmill. So there's two types of happiness, like hedonic happiness and then eudaimonic happiness. So hedonic is like those little short, sharp things. So like a goal to get a marathon or like wanting the next house or wanting that relationship, whatever, like really short,
like
sharp
tangible things.
Yeah, like short, sharp goals. And one's not good or bad. Like they're both, and mnemonic is those long-term goals. So like we see this typically in older people. So having a family, big like 5-year goals, like, and typically you want to kind of have like 80% eudaimonic happiness long term and those 20% hedonic happiness, like little bumps.
Yeah.
But she talks about this thing called the hedonic treadmill, where we're constantly trying to search for that next thing. Like once we get the house, we're like, okay, I need a bigger house, or like we want
Maybe just being satisfied.
and it's like, well, at what point are we just happy with being present? You said this morning. You're like, I want to just be like happy with what I'm doing, and actually sitting in it, right?
Yeah. Like I was saying, now that America's done, I just got so many other things coming on. So it's like, oh, okay, that's gone. What's next? Instead of just like sitting in it and be like, that was pretty cool.
But is that an awareness piece? Like, are you conscious of that? Because I'm like, well, I was like, yeah, that's great. But how do we train our minds to actually sit in here and actually be present?
Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet. I feel like I'm just constantly thinking about so many things. I think it's social media as well because it's online and very creative. Your brain's just kind of always ticking over, be like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. And I guess like because it's not a 9 to 5 where you go to work and you switch off and then come back.
Yeah.
I definitely need to get a lot better at it.
Do you put rules in place with your social media?
No, I should. I need to.
Yeah. Me and Em, we're looking at getting like dumb phones.
Oh yeah.
So like those like little Nokias.
Oh
yeah. And just fully getting off our social. Not getting off social.
And use it like for work.
Use it for work. So I've got like a little iPad with me now for those who are listening and not watching, and so we haven't got there yet. It might be like day one today. But we will have our phone, so be able to call and text, like a little shitty Nokia dumb phone. But then having like a mini iPad, so when we go to work or when we're out, like we can take this. Like this is so.
I love we call it a dumb phone.
A dumb phone, yeah.
Which is like 6 years ago. It's just a phone.
It's just a phone, dumb phone, smartphone. But like I think, and that's obviously an extreme part. But even there's like really cool little devices. Have you seen the brick? It's kind of up on the fridge. If you can look up the top right corner of the fridge, it's kind of like a little magnet that you can put on your fridge, put anywhere. And what it does is you can tap onto it and it'll shut down whatever apps you choose. So all your social media, and you can't get back into it until you tap back on. So so I'll come home. This is what I do. I'll come home from like 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever. I'll tap on and then I won't look at it for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
and then
I need that.
You should. It'd be the best.
Just TikTok. Just before bed.
Before bed, just doom scrolling. But it's so good because like that creativity of like you actually thinking and like being off socials, like it's for me, I think is super important because we can get trapped in that that's why I'm so curious hearing from you, because like this is your world. This is where this is your bread and butter. I was like, I wonder if you put any things like that.
Yeah, it was an interesting transition as well when I stopped coaching in person. And obviously when I was coaching, that was kind of like my main thing. And then I was just kind of posting training on the side. And so it wasn't really my job as such. But when I stopped coaching midway through last year and was only socials, I really struggled with like organizing my day because obviously you have all the time you want. And so I'd be like, oh no, like I'll do it like later or so-and-so. And so I've gotten a lot better at like, training in the morning and still using, say like 9 to 4 or whatever as like work hours instead of just, oh, maybe I'll go do this at midday and whatnot. Because like the flexibility is good, but it's so easy to get into a trap of just being very flexible with
how do you work? How do you work? Do you go to a cafe or do you work from home, or like
typically I work from home.
I
would like to get into going to a cafe a bit more just to separate it. But we're actually when we move into a new place we'll have an office, which will be good.
Very exciting. Tell me about was it a conscious decision to take the leap into social media full time, or was it because I'm like, was that always the play for you?
No, I was studying chiropractic at uni.
Wow.
And I guess when I started to like fitness a bit more, I did my certs and that sort of thing, and then became a coach. And then I made the conscious decision to defer for a year and coach full time. And then throughout that year, obviously just shared more fitness online, gained a little bit of traction. And then I think after that year, then the Move With Us opportunity came in, and that was, so surreal. It was sick. And then it's kind of just grown from there and kind of took less and less hours at the gym. And then it got to a point midway through last year where it was like I didn't essentially need it anymore. Like I was staying there because I really liked, the community and coaching and that sort of thing. But I kind of lost the love for it a little bit. So I just decided to step away, and it's been good because I didn't have that anymore. So I can just fully focus and be, I guess, really flexible with my timetable as well. I don't know, I'm sure you're in the same situation. Like things pop up so quickly. So it's good to be able to have that flexibility.
Go to Colorado with Apple.
Literally.
You want to come
like 3 weeks notice.
Yeah.
We're like, God. But
do you enjoy making the videos? Because we did a podcast with Olivia Matt, who we've done some collaborations and work with as well. And she loves making videos. She's always loved making videos for like before she was even doing stuff on social media, right?
Yeah, I do. I think I learnt because, at Atora, we had to like do daily stories and like edit the filming to the music, and like I spent hours doing it in the morning because I wanted to make it good and that sort of thing. And so that kind of gave me the tools to be able to do it now. But like the reels these days, like people, they're so good.
Really?
Like it's the way that people edit now, I'm like, oh my gosh, that would take hours.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
What advice would you give me for someone who I think is like coming into this space? Like we've obviously got personal social, but like predominantly more so the podcast. Like it comes from I think a good place. So we're trying to like normalize stigmas of mental health. And I was telling you before, like give people who are listening like some really great tools and strategies. But it comes with that is like amplification. Like the more people we reach, the more impact we can have. If you were in my shoes, what would you do? How would you look at amplifying and growing like a page, podcast, collaboration, something like this?
Yeah. I think it's easy to get sucked into inspiration and kind of picking and choosing your favorites from other creators. And whilst that's good for inspiration, if you do that too much, you kind of lose you, and people follow you for, your authenticity and what you're about. So I think just post what you want to post. Don't post what you think is going to do well, or like what's doing well for other people, because that's when it can get a bit lost. And I think I've definitely gotten into the trap of that. And it's always the ones that, speak from the heart and people actually resonate with that do the best. So yeah, just being you. Yeah,
I love that. Because even when we were talking this morning as well, it was just like, I loved both of us. Like we love training with crew. So being able to go do a mini tri sprint in the morning, like something that we both froth and then
Yeah.
have that conversation.
I wouldn't say froth.
You fucking love it. You fucking do like it. Don't come at me like that. I know you like it. Hey, I do wanna talk about health. There was one part of your on your social media where you said sometimes your health takes priority and fitness takes a back seat. It's okay to listen to your body. Tell me a little bit more about that, because you've shared really publicly online around your hair loss journey, the gut issues that you've had. Tell me a little bit more about when you think it is time, like when is the time to be able to pull back and let your health take priority?
Yeah, I think it's linking back to the burnout thing before. You know, it was like I'd finish a hard conditioning session and then I'd go into my car and I literally, like, I was shaking and just had to sit there, and I was so out of it because I think my body was just constantly in that fight or flight. So it was already, you know, so stressed. And then I'd go and do a hard session and then just cook myself and just be wrecked for the rest of the day. Same with like the long runs also, just taking, just like already, you know, I was lying and there's already a lot of stress in the body, and then just adding that extra stress. And then obviously that contributed to, you know, the hair and then gut and that sort of thing. So I think, like, yeah, it's good to follow the program and, you know, figure out your mood sometimes, but sometimes it's literally your body screaming at you, like, just please slow down. And I think it's really important to listen to those signs.
Was it just from training load or like outside influences as well?
I still don't really know the exact cause. Like, I came off the pill in mid 2023 and then, you know, had to like deal with the adjusting after that. And then I like had some personal issues like with relationship and that sort of thing, and then entered my marathon training, and then I think it just like added more stress, and then I think I already had the underlying gut issues, and then it kind of just like piled up, and yeah, like I got midway through last year or so, and like I had a brand trip over to the UK, and like, oh, I felt awful. Like, we went out and we were like doing scouting at different clothing brands and that sort of thing, and I'd catch a glimpse of myself in the like retail store mirror. I was like, fuck, I look like shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I look exactly how I feel.
It's crazy, like what kind of effect stress can have on the body. Like you're putting yourself in so much stress through your training, but the outside influences are incredible. Like whether it's a breakdown in relationship, not sleeping well, business, like, because I think about the people who are listening to this podcast, you know, like they're typically probably like everyday people who are training for fun, but then also have their own careers. Incredible amount of stress that we go through in life. And I think that whole piece around like, not sleeping, relationship breakdown, financial stress, huge one, like putting all that on top of a big training load would be so tough.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially when you're already operating at like 50% capacity, and then you go and try and do this, and then, you know, you're running on zero. What
did you learn through that process? Like what were some of your key takeaways? Because, you know, spoken to a few of your friends and everyone's talking about how you're on this huge like glow up conference, thriving, like.
Who did you speak to?
I'll tell you right now.
Hey, beautiful Belle, it's Jay here. I wanted to ask how you are feeling like your newfound, I don't know if confidence is the right word, but obviously, as we all know, you've really, really found your spark and got your spark back recently. And it's so beautifully evident and obvious to all your friends around you. And it's just the best thing to see in the whole world, especially for those of us who are really close to you. How do you feel like this shift in your life and in your energy and everything is affecting your like training and race prep and just motivation in life towards training and towards business and everything? Because obviously we've seen you come a long way over the last year, I guess, in every capacity, mentally, emotionally, physically, everything. And how do you feel internally like this shift and this getting your spark back has affected your, I guess, output in life and motivation towards business, training, friendships, just everything, because we're all so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And it's honestly been the biggest blessing seeing you turn this corner. And I just know that is the start. And yeah, there's only amazing things to come. So yeah, can't wait to hear. Lots of love.
No.
Cute.
You didn't even know, Joe.
I know Jay. I was reading from Instagram name.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, so I lived with Jay until she moved out, recently. So I guess she kind of saw all the waves of emotions. And it was really funny. Like, I think people around you notice, like, they're the first to notice before you even notice yourself. And I think, like, so I got out of a relationship maybe like 3-4 months ago, and I don't think I realized just how much just mental space it was taking up. And I think like two months out of it, like they were like, you're just a different person. Like you're just able to, I think because you don't have those things to think about, you know, you're more talkative, you actually want to do more things and that sort of thing. So I guess going back to a question with how it affects my training and that sort of thing, I think when you're feeling better within yourself and, you know, more confident and that sort of thing, you're able to show up for yourself. You're not kind of just think it's something you have to do. So it becomes something you want to do again. And then I think obviously that leads into comps and stuff because you're more prepared and you just want to get out there a little bit more and push yourself.
Tell me about the confidence thing, because they, like Jay mentioned about like just this increase in like just like opportunities and putting yourself out there and just being so much more confident. What do you think is it about that? Like where did that come from? What was the shift?
I think when you're not there mentally, like you don't really want to talk to people, you don't really want to get out there, do stuff. You just kind of want to just stay in your little shell. So I guess when I started to feel better, then like training improved and then felt a lot more confident, just like physically as well. And yeah, it kind of just seeps into everything.
On the flip side, how do you think one could or should support someone who is in like a really tough time like that, like whether like relationship breakdown? Obviously, like these things are hard, like they always suck. It's a tough thing. How do you think one would support, or how did Jay and your friends support you?
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of just listening and understanding and just being there when they could. Like when I'm in like a shit mood, I just go silent. I just don't talk to anyone. Like I don't really want anyone to talk to me and that sort of thing. So I think they understood what I needed and know like when to talk to me or like when I'm open to being talked to. And yeah, like I guess just being there for me when I need it.
Yeah, I love that. I think when we have similar conversations with friends who are going through like really tough times, and you know their friends want to be there and be like, well, what do I say to them? Like I just want to tell them like the right thing. I think I've come to the realization that it's not about what you say, it's literally just being there.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I had a mate who recently went through a breakup like a couple of weeks ago, and we're like, okay, we'll obviously talk about it, and he knows that we're there to have that conversation, but it's also just being there. Like, let's go train. Let's go for a run.
Yeah.
Let's just go do something. Let's go for a coffee. And while it's not like, if he wants to talk about it, he knows that he can, because we've created that space for him.
So just let them bring it up instead of, you know, constantly probing and asking.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. How do you show up for friends? Is it a very similar time? Like, because obviously you girls are all really close. Similar thing, just being there?
Yeah, just like they all know that I'm there to have a chat and I'll be there for them. Yeah.
With all the learnings that you've had like over, you know, this recent experience, and then even just the last however many years of, you know, going through all the peaks and valleys of sport and whatnot, if you were to give advice to your, you know, 17, 18-year-old self, what would you say?
Ooh, what would I say? Probably just like, you don't have to have it figured out. Like you know, I think I was going into, 17, I was finishing high school. it's like the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a straight path because so many things can pop up. Even like over a year, so much can change. So I think just back on what we were saying before, just being open to saying yes to things and putting yourself out there, and you learn so much about yourself, I guess, over those 8 years. Like I'm in a very different person to what I was, you know, at 19. Like I was always in my shell, like so shy. Like
Really?
I would go into a group class and just, you know, hide in the corner, like not.
That's really,
Yeah.
that's wild.
And I think from there, when I was coaching, it kind of forced me to be the person to talk to people first, and which I'm very grateful for, because obviously now in the situation I am in, when I go to events and stuff, it allows me to, you know, interact and like actually talk to people who I don't really know.
Yeah.
So it's just like all these little skills that you pick up, and
Do you still get nerves?
not as much anymore. I think I get nerves when I'm in groups of people. Like I'm good one-on-one, but yeah, when I'm in like a group, I'll just stay silent.
Because I see, like, from the outside looking in onto your socials, you'd be like, oh, this girl is like doing all these things, like she's doing like the high rocks and the marathon, she's talking, and so you start to wonder, you're like, oh, this girl just has it all figured out, you know what I mean? But it's actually really nice to know that, oh, actually when I do go into group settings, I'm a little bit more quiet. I think I like that.
Yeah, I just get a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to act in groups.
Really?
I just listen.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Listening's great. What's coming up? Because you've done so many incredible things lately. What's the big goals? You have a big goal that's coming up, or the next big goal?
Next big goal, I guess we really want to qualify for Worlds for High Rocks in December.
Cool.
So that'll be really cool. And then just working on a little business startup for the next 6 months or so.
Which we won't discuss right now. No, just leave that for the audience.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Something's brewing.
Yeah.
Can't say what it is.
Yeah. That's exciting. There was one question that was like super left field, which I actually am keen to get your thoughts on, because it's such a weird left field question. Me and my partner were talking about it. It was like, if you were to describe yourself as a movie character or like fictional character, what character would you be?
Oh my God.
Can I tell you mine first, just to give you a think about it? You know, Po from Kung Fu Panda? The panda.
That's so accurate.
It's so accurate, because this guy, like Po, right, he loves his food. He's super like playful and like kind of silly and like a little bit clumsy. Like that's definitely me. But then he also has this like little bit of ambition to be like the Dragon Warrior. Like he's got that in him, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
And so when I heard that, I told Em that, and she's just like, yeah, like fuck, without a doubt. And then I was licking my plate clean the other night, and she's just like, you're fucking Po.
Literally Po.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, that's such a. I don't know if I have an answer off the bat.
I had two that I thought could be you.
Okay, perfect.
From
Saves me thinking about it.
Saves you thinking about it, and you can either say yes or no. Hermione Granger from Harry Potter, like super smart, super I guess like motivated for where she wants to go to, but then really kind and has like those really like caring, like nurturing values towards her friends.
Yeah.
I thought that, and the second one was also Kim Possible. Did you ever watch Kim Possible?
Yeah,
the best, you know.
At least you didn't say Shigo. Like, oh, she's a big bitch.
Hey, imagine if I just said some fucking like Cruella DeVille or something.
Literally, or Scar.
Scar, yeah.
Scar from
Oh, that's so funny. Annabelle, hey, I'm so grateful that like we've had this conversation today. I feel like there's so many like beautiful little themes and so many like little golden nuggets that we've touched on. Before we do wrap things up, what do you think is the biggest thing that we didn't talk about today that you'd like to touch on?
Oh, I think we touched on quite a bit. I don't know. I forget what we've covered.
We're going through a bit. Actually, there was one thing. You did mention like self-worth, and there was one Instagram caption that you put up, or maybe it was a carousel, but it says your self-worth does not revolve around what you look like. Wait, sorry, just a bit of dyslexic today.
That's right. You got to try it.
I've done a try. I did have some food. We're going to get a
another
feed after this. Yeah. Your self-worth does not revolve around what you look like or your performance. And I guess the question that comes off the back of that is, well, were there any unexpected rituals or tiny routines that helped you, I guess, like rebuild your self-worth?
I think the performance aspect, especially, I have realized that I don't enjoy training for something if I take it too seriously. If I do like the marathon block, if I go all in, just forget about all the other stuff and just, have a specific goal and just because if you don't get that goal, then you're going to be unhappy. Whereas if you just go in to do the experience and enjoy it and do it for the fun of it, then you're going to be satisfied no matter what. So I think I've really learnt that about my training. And I think that's also how I'm able to stay not burnt out because there's not a lot of events that I go all in on. I kind of just, with my training, I just set myself up to be able to do lots of different things, which is what I like. Like I like being able to say yes to, a high rocks, a trail race, if I can sprint trial on the red Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that's why, like all these events I've got coming up, like the half marathon. Like the only one I'm semi-taking seriously is the high rocks. But yeah, it's just fun to me. And it's good to, like I'm doing the half marathon with my mum, the marathon with my dad and another friend who's doing her first marathon. And it's just about experiences.
What's the one event that you just wouldn't do? That you're like, nah, no.
Full Ironman.
Full Ironman? Really?
I got no, because I know the training is like, you just got to let everything else go.
Yeah.
Whereas in my mind, like a half Ironman, I reckon I could still kind of do other things.
Sure.
Whereas a full, it's just like, 6-8 months of just intense training.
But you said this morning you do an ultra. That's all consuming.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, you don't reckon? Nah, I'll breeze through that.
I'll do a 50, like 50K ultra.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like with trail, you can walk the uphills and that sort of thing. It's just like time on the legs.
Sure.
Rather than intense heart rate and that sort of thing.
If you were to have absolutely no ceiling on what is possible, whether it's like training, if you could do anything, what would you do?
Event-wise?
Both. Event life. Like what's like
it's like travel and do events.
Yeah.
Like that's so fun to me.
It's kind of what you're already doing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so good. Like when I was younger, I wanted to be an Olympian and obviously that didn't work. So, actually when I went home like a couple of months ago, we were looking through like primary school books and there was like the class book essentially and you got asked questions and whatnot. And I found mine. And then one of the questions was like, oh, what do you want to be when I want to be older? And I wrote Olympic swimmer.
So
Not me dying when I got out of the water.
You were good this morning. I thought you were really good this morning. Do you ever pinch yourself to think like, what, like your big goal, like your big dream is to be able to travel and do events?
Yeah.
And you literally get to do that now.
Yeah.
Don't pinch yourself. Do you ever think that this would happen?
No. Like, it's so cool. Like, even when I was trying to figure out when I wanted to study uni, like, I ended up I really wanted to do physio because I wanted to be a sports physio and work, in sport. And then that's what then led me to chiro as well because I knew that physio was so competitive and not a lot of physios actually, get to do the sporting element. Whereas chiro, I wanted to, do the sporting element as well. But essentially, like I wanted to be on the other side of it. I didn't want to be helping athletes. Like I wanted to be in it, be the athlete. And I guess like just training and sharing my journey online is kind of like the next best thing.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's interesting when I talk to physio students, and they want to get like, oh, I want to get into professional sport. I want to be the physio at an NRL club or AFL club or network or whatever. Like that's obviously where a lot of people want to get to.
Yeah.
And then I think about like the shit that we put our physios through. Like it's honestly just like just bullying. Like it was just like fun. Like no, it was fun. It wasn't bullying. I shouldn't say that. But it was fun. But I was like, we would fucking put them through so much shit, and they would work so incredibly hard. Like because we'd be there early, and they would have to be there early. We would leave late. They would have to be late. It's not like a 9 to 5. It's like all consuming. You know, we travel all around Australia, and they would be with us the whole time. We were like, I want to be a physio. I was like,
why?
Sure, you want to be a physio? You know,
I can see your future. You don't.
Yeah, but even that thing of like, because rugby league was like my sport, and I got like finished footy early due to like too many head knocks. I was 24, and so I was just like, oh well, that's my career like done. Like I didn't think I'd go on and do like more events. But then I love the fact that like these little events have like kind of come into our lives where we can do Ironmans and then like half and ultras, and you're like, we can still do these things.
I mean, you can.
What do you mean?
You say we, but there's not a lot of we.
I'm manifesting for us. We're going to be doing it.
On our new bikes. On our TTs.
Very exciting. Yeah, you got a new bike coming in?
Yep.
Shout out.
Saba?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah, we'll get in our little TT positions and just fly more road runs. I can't believe that was your first road ride this morning when we were, because you've obviously like you've done a tri.
Yeah.
And so when you're like, oh, this is actually my first road ride, I was like, that's scary.
It's because I learned like very quickly how to do the clip-ins and that sort of thing, and I was just petrified of going in traffic lights and stuff. We got very lucky this morning.
We were boosted
on the green lights.
We were trying to slow down for the red lights, and then when the green, we'd be like, let's go. It's fucking, and we did good.
We did very good.
We got like one
and
red.
No stacks. Well, you were hoping for it.
It would have been beautiful content.
Well, I posted when I did stack it when I was learning in the car park.
I saw that.
Oh, you did?
Is that with your dad or your mum? Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, these are the little things. It'd be beautiful content, but I'm glad that you're in one piece. Annabelle, thank you so much for today. I've had such a beautiful morning, like doing the mini tri. I love that we can do that, and then rolling today. I think there was so many like beautiful nuggets around like confidence and like, you know, overcoming like your own little ceilings and fueling properly. Like I think all those things are just so beautiful. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Keegan & Company, where it was all around the company we keep. This episode was powered by Famous Nutrition. Head to famousnutrition.com and use TRY30 for 30% off to feel famously good today. See you next time.